landmark decision for soccer and the fight for equal pay. The U.S. Soccer Federation announcing both the men's and the women's national teams will now be paid equally, and that includes an equal split of the World Cup prize and money, making U.S. Soccer the first federation in the world to do so. Let's talk about all this with Tierna Davidson. She plays for the Chicago Red Stars of the NWSL, also was a member of the 2019 World Cup team, and Yahoo Finance reporter Josh Schaffer is joining the conversation as well. Tierna, it's great to have you. History has been made today. I know you've been very active in this fight for equal pay. What's your reaction to today's ruling?
Yeah, it's just really exciting for all of us. I think that there's a sense of pride and accomplishment for the player group. I think we've worked really incredibly hard, not just with the CBA, but with many years before us of fighting for what women deserve in this industry. And so I think everyone's very happy with where we're settling right here.
And Tierna, when we talk about these increases, we're talking 30, 40% on yearly pay, a pretty big increase for a lot of players. Do you think that's going to materially change how you approach women's soccer as a profession, and maybe how some of the players are able to approach this as a full-time form of compensation and profession?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, mentally, I think that we still have the same passion for soccer, and it doesn't matter what price is put in front of us. But I do believe that we're going to be able to take better care of our bodies. People are going to be able to dedicate more time. You won't have to have second jobs. You won't have to, be thinking about other ways to make money. You can focus solely on your soccer career. People will also be able to support their families, have kids. There's a lot of really great components to this CBA that allow us to fully dedicate ourselves as professional athletes.
Tierna, congrats. Dave Briggs here. With the context that I have argued that you deserve more money than the men. When it comes to the World Cup, there is exponentially far more revenue generated on the men's side to the tune of $6 billion. For those that say, why do the women deserve the same money when the men's World Cup is a far bigger event globally and generates far more revenue, as you can see here on the screen, a much bigger prize pool, bonus pool as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of where we're coming from is the investment needs to be made in women's soccer in order for us to be able to get to those kinds of numbers. And it starts with being able to pay us properly in order for us to be able to do our jobs to the best of our ability. As I said before, to be able to dedicate ourselves wholly and fully to being the best athletes that we can be, and to improve the game, both for ourselves and for our fans. I think, as with a startup, as with anything, you have to invest money in it first to see it grow and to see it thrive. And I think that's what we're starting to see here. And that's what really excites us.
And Tierna, in terms of some of the pushback that you guys received when you were trying to negotiate this, what were people's main points of contention and how were you guys able to overcome that?
A lot of the main points of contention were around the revenue that we're pulling in, were around people's opinion of the athleticism of women versus men and the differences in our game. But really, the way that we're able to combat that, first of all, is we have over the years generated more money for U.S. soccer than the men. So that's something that we definitely are proud of and point to when people say that we don't make enough money for U.S. soccer. And also, our game is fun to watch. Our game is entertaining. We are incredibly dynamic. We are technical. We are fantastic athletes and players out there that are fun to watch. But it just takes actually being able to get us on TV and to get us out to more viewers, to get a bigger fan base for us. And so I think we're starting to see that both with the national team and with our domestic league, the NWSL. So it's exciting to see.
Yeah, Tierna, how do you grow that with the NWSL? What's next here? You have this moment now. How do you get to that pay equity when it comes to the NWSL and grow that league?
I think something that's really important is pushing advertising and coverage of the NWSL. I think people need to understand that if you love watching the U.S. women's national team, if you love the players on the U.S. women's national team, you can go see them play every weekend in markets all over the country. And I think that needs to be more recognized and more easily accessible for fans in order for the NWSL to continue to grow. But you can see, even with the new teams in San Diego and LA coming in, there's a ton of excitement and a lot of hype around women's soccer. And it's really fun to see these new markets growing. And so it's really exciting to see as you invest more in women's soccer, it just grows. Like it's just a snowball effect.
And back now to the U.S. settlement, two groups we haven't talked much about. The men's team did give up a sizable amount of their prize money. What's your message to them? And the older players, in particular Megan Rapinoe, who really shouldered the load here and took a lot of heat for it. What's your message to her?
Well, yeah, to the men, I mean, we are very grateful for the continued collaboration that we've had with the men's PA and helping us push forward this message that we're trying to get across and come to this agreement in this CBA. And to Pino, I mean, as you said, she shouldered a lot of the heat, but she loves to get into those contentious fights and she loves to come out on top, and she does it time and time again. And so myself as a younger player, I'm very grateful to everything that she's done and to everything that women's soccer players and other female athletes have done before her to pave this path for us. And so, we hope to just continue down this road. But it's just amazing to see what she's done and to be a teammate of hers for these past couple of years.
Yeah, she certainly has had a massive, massive impact on the sport. Tierna, two-part question here. One, this ruling, what message do you hope or do you think it's going to send really to the rest of the world outside of the U.S.? And then also, have you had any conversations with other athletes outside of the sport of soccer where you could see maybe something similar happening in their sport down the line?
Yeah, I would say that we hope that this sets a global standard for international soccer. I think that it will. I also hope that it sets a standard not just for soccer, but for women in many other types of industries, that, you can go out and you can get what you deserve. And, we've done it here over the past number of years, and it is possible, and you do deserve it, and your value is there. And speaking with other athletes in different sports, I think that the conversation is definitely gearing towards investing more in women's sports and getting more serious about women's sports. You can see that the WNBA is absolutely thriving. I love watching their games. I love how much coverage that they're starting to get. And I hope that our league as the NWSL can kind of follow in their footsteps. So I think it's a two-part game that we're playing here, is that we have the national team, we have the NWSL, and we're trying to grow the game on both sides. And I think that other women's leagues are doing very well in that sense. And so as we get more coverage and we get more attention, I think the game's only going to grow.
And Tierna, obviously you have a lot of young players who look up to you all and are thinking, hey, maybe this could be now something I could do as a career now because I will be able to support myself, as you mentioned. What message do you have for some of the young fans out there who perhaps now see this as really opening up new opportunities for them?
Yeah, my message is to pursue what your passion is. And if that's soccer, then absolutely go for it. I mean, I was told as a younger kid that I couldn't make a profession out of soccer, but here I am making a profession out of soccer. So it is absolutely possible. If you dedicate your time and effort into it, you can certainly make it happen.
It's certainly paid off. We do appreciate you being on the show today. Tierna Davidson there, Chicago Red Stars player and member of the 2019 U.S. Women's World Cup Championship soccer team. Thank you so much.